and welcome to another episode of Hair Talks on the Street. But today we're doing it a little bit differently. So we wanted to get a personal experience on hair shedding. The medical term we'll be using is telogen effluvium. So instead of approaching random strangers on the street and asking them questions, we've decided to bring a guest, and I brought Maya. So Maya, could you help to introduce yourself to the audience?
Of course. So hi everyone, I'm Maya. I'm 23 this year and I'm currently a financial analyst. And I hope that by sharing my story, the audience can take away something valuable from it.
So you've been telling me just now that at the age of 23, you're already doing financial analysis. So what does the job scope entail? Like what's the day-to-day like?
So first we'll get the data from tech. So I'm in tech finance, so we get the data from tech and then we put that into Excel, we crunch the data and any findings that we get from that, then we will convert it into a PowerPoint deck where the higher management will take a look at it.
Okay. So you're just staring at screens the whole day basically?
Basically, that's it.
Oh, that's a bit stressful.
Well, it comes with the job.
Okay. How long have you been doing this for?
I think in this role is about 1 year, but I've been with the firm for 2 years now.
So you mentioned that you also had a previous role in this company.
Yeah.
So maybe can you tell me a little bit about that?
So the previous role, I was in trade reconciliation. So there we look at T+1 trades and any trade that have been made the previous day, we'll reconcile those. So this job requires me to be up and about by like 7 a.m. So because we look at Australia market, so we need to reconcile any trades before the markets open.
Oh,
so technically my work day is about 7 to 7.
Oh, that's a long work day. And that sounds a little bit more like stressful.
Yeah, it was much stressful than my current job right now.
Okay. Like how did that affect you mentally though? Like at the age of 22, you're already dealing with something that's so...
Yeah, I felt that initially it was something that you have to just push through with it because it's a job, right? So you have to show up. But eventually I could see it take its toll on me. So eventually I saw my weight increasing steadily and I couldn't bring it down because I was working so much. So after work, I didn't have the energy to go exercise or take notice of that.
So apart from the weight, did your stress like manifest in any other way?
I felt that as my stress kept increasing, my stress levels kept increasing, I saw sort of like my hair falling. I don't know if you get that as well. But and also with the weight fluctuations, I felt that, you know, my hair, like especially my hair parting was getting wider. That was quite alarming.
Okay, was this the first time you've seen this happen, or has this happened to you previously when you were younger?
I think this wasn't the first time. When I was younger, I had hair loss as well because of my weight fluctuations.
Okay.
So I think since about 16 till like 20, my weight has always drastically increased or decreased. So because of that, I could see like that take its effect on my hair.
I would think like as someone so young, when you start seeing these kinds of changes, like if it were me, I would be, I don't know, like super sad about it. Like when you see these things happen to you, like what goes on in your head?
I think when I started to see the changes, initially it was a mix of denial and worry because, and also a mix of like insecurity as well. Because when I take photos or when I look back at the photos that I took, I could see sort of like my hair parting getting wider over time. So I felt really self-conscious about it. And then also you can't help but feel a little bit nervous about what this might mean in the long run. So yeah, I think in general, it's a bit of an emotional roller coaster when you see something like that start to change.
Okay. So did you only realize that that it was like different because of the pictures, or was there like something else day to day that made you think like, oh, I think there's a problem here?
I think day to day is more about the hair shedding. So whenever I shower or whenever I'm just combing my hair, then I'll see like, not really chunks, but like my hair would keep shedding. So I guess that was one of the signs that, oh, something might be, you know, different. Yeah.
So what was the moment that made you think, okay, like I really need to get this checked, or like I really need to do something about it?
I I think it was when I always thought maybe my hair shedding was because of stress or something temporary.
Right.
But then I felt that deep down I knew that it was more than that.
Okay.
So when my hair shedding kept getting worse, even when I wasn't as stressed, that was when I felt that, oh, like I might need to get it checked because nothing is really changing.
What was the first thing you decided to do? Like, I feel like if it were me in your situation, I would probably be like, okay, go look online, start searching on TikTok, like, hair loss remedy or hair shedding or am I shedding? So like for you, what was that like?
So for me, the first thing I actually did was I went to my mom. So I told her like, hey mom, I'm sort of shedding a lot of hair. Do you know anything I can do about it? So she actually got me this like nail and hair like supplement. I'm not sure what exactly is in it, but I tried taking that. And to be very honest, I didn't see a lot of change.
Okay.
It was more of like maybe I was shedding more instead. But after that, I just stopped taking it. And then I went to like search online, but I wasn't really serious in searching it.
So why did you finally decide like, okay, I'm gonna go see like a hair restoration doctor and then see what we can do about it?
I think it was when I talked to you about it. So you also shared your experience with hair shedding, and then when you were mentioning about all of your symptoms and triggers, then that's when I thought like, oh, maybe that is what I'm experiencing as well. So after like researching more about it, then I really felt like, this might be it. So as I was searching, then I came across the telogen effluvium.
Yeah.
So I guess that's when it all clicked.
So you really notice that like when your hair regrows, I mean, that's what I'm going through. Like after my hair falls off, when it regrows, it like gets thinner and stuff like that. And then like it's just not the same as before. Like when I ponytail, it's like literally half what it was. It's something like that. It is so sad to see.
It's like you can feel like your overall thickness or even your volume not being the same as it used to be. So I guess that kind of bums me out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get that. Can you tell us about like maybe the first consult? Like when you stepped into that room, what were you expecting was going to happen? And then what was different from that expectation?
So I just had my first consultation with Dr. Heng recently. And honestly, it was quite eye-opening. And I had learned a lot more than I expected. So Dr. Heng really took the time to explain how the body's overall health really impacts hair loss or growth. So I guess that was one of the biggest takeaway that I had. So the doctor advised me to really start to take care of my lifestyle choices. So that's the first step that I'm trying to take.
Okay, out of all the lifestyle choices, what is your biggest challenge?
I think my biggest challenge is trying to fix my sleep schedule.
Okay.
And also trying to prioritize self-care in general.
Sleep schedule, how?
Like sleeping earlier.
Okay.
And I guess like just having at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep.
At least 8 to 10
for me.
Okay, so how many hours do you have now?
4 to 5.
How do you function? How do you look at numbers straight? Like if it were me, like the numbers would be like mixing up already and I'd be bad mood every day.
That's why I drink at least about 3 cups of coffee, which I heard isn't good either. So trying to take the first steps.
Okay, yeah, I think for your overall well-being and sanity, sleep would be the first thing we fix.
I'm trying.
So you're mentioning that you wanted to fix a few of your lifestyle choices. And then just now we were talking about sleep being one of the biggest ones. Apart from that, is there anything else that you also want to fix?
I think another thing is that, so right now I'm trying to cook for myself. So trying to manage my diet is a bit of a struggle. Dr. Heng also mentioned how being deficient in certain nutrients might affect hair loss as well. So currently I'm waiting for the blood test to see if I'm deficient in anything. So after I know that, then maybe I can start incorporating those into my diets. Maybe like taking more red meat or something like vitamin D deficient. So being in the sun like right now. What the hell?
So actually, I'm a bit conflicted about vitamin D now because I realized that a lot of Singaporeans are actually deficient in vitamin D despite it being like one of the most sunniest countries. And I think maybe it's because like our lifestyles lean towards us just hiding more often, or if we are out, we want to like slap as much sunblock as we can so we don't get any sunspots. So I don't understand what the right balance is, but apparently for you to get the right amount of vitamin B, you need at least a few minutes in the sun where you are not applying sunblock. A little bit of change in scenery due to some unforeseen circumstances, but we are down to our last question. So my last question for you is, after your first consultation, what is maybe one thing you would like to tell your younger self?
So if I could go back in time, I would tell myself to not be so worried or feel so insecure, because ultimately hair loss is just part of a bigger picture. So after knowing how interconnected everything is, I'll probably tell myself to start focusing on my overall health instead, and then just see how it goes.
I think that's like one advice that like you can just tell everybody, because now everyone's so fixated on what they can achieve and not really thinking about the lifestyle choices that they're making and how it's affecting their body, and how their body is trying to signal to them that, hey, we need a little bit more self-care that's not just on like the superficial level.
Yeah.
So that concludes another episode of Hair Talks on the Street, where we talk about anything and everything about hair. And if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!